Welcome everyone to another episode of the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry Live. Me and my High Council of Light are so excited and happy to share with you today the answer to a question that comes from one of my oldest and closest student who has now become a friend, Nikki. Nikki has been my student for the last 3 years and she is now part of Eeria, my school of channeling. And she asked a question that I have often heard these days and that I have often asked myself about. So I thought that this question was so relevant that I wanted to also dig deeper to receive the answer to this question because I know that it is going to benefit many of you because all of us experience this and all of us have questions around what is the right thing to do. How can I know it? So the question that Nikki asked, first of all, we answered it during a trench channeling group session that happened last week. And this trench channeling session was part of Eeria School of Channeling. So if you don't know this, the School of Channeling Eeria is a 1 year certification program where I train light workers, healers, channels, Reiki master, and so on to become extraordinary channels of light. So basically, I train my students to refine their psychic abilities, to open up their consciousness so they can create beautiful, powerful quantum journeys for their own clients, but they can also connect with many more galactics with great precision, as well as ascended masters, angels, archangels, and beings present in ancient civilizations. So I train my students in Eeria School of Channeling not only to get access to very potent timelines, but I also train them to bring this access in their own session with their client, to download their own body of work, to really be fully on with their beautiful mission of light on this planet. So Nikki is one of my students, and the students inside Eeria School of Channeling receive so much support, and one of them is to actually receive close support from my High Council of Light and the Actuarians. And so therefore we often regular meeting with the light beings of the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry, and students get to ask questions directly to the Actuarians. They get to receive cosmic surgery from the Actuarians. So it is very epic. So we already answered this question in depth. But there was so much more that we wanted to say about it because you see, like in all the different programs and offerings that I share with the world, me and my High Council, we craft the answer depending on the people present, depending on the grid receiving the answer. So, for example, what we shared in Eeria School of Channeling was extremely galactic and quantum and quite advanced. Honestly, because Nikki has been working with us for a long time, so she already has trained her consciousness to receive what we share at very high level. And she has the capacity to understand a lot of advanced quantum concepts, if you want. So that is in Eeria School of Channeling. But here, as I share this with the world, we are going to share it in a way that is going to be more easily accessed by everyone. So it means that even if you are not a student that is part of Eeria School of Channeling or the portal or now my new membership, the mini portal, it means that we are going to do our best to make this content accessible. Because yes, I know many of you listen frequently with consistency and so much happiness to what we share. And I have heard often that people can struggle at times to understand these like concepts because they have never heard of this before. The vocabulary, the body of work that we channel on a multidimensional level. So I know that people need to listen and receive regularly from us because it very quickly increases your consciousness, allows you to vibrate at a high level your frequency and opens your horizon so you can feel and perceive that what we share actually aligns with your truth, the truth of your divinity. And you will feel this if you are basically experiencing your body, your heart, your soul that goes like, oh, I love what Sandrine is sharing right now. I know the message that are coming through align with me, even if it's confronting, even if it's like we poke, we poke with kindness and gentleness and love, but we do poke a lot, with the Acturians and the Syrians, as well as some ascended masters are already or also very kind of like pokey like beings, you would say. But it is done simply to reflect back at you the truth of your divinity, your infinite power, your expanded consciousness, and so on. So we hope and trust that today you are going to receive a lot from this question. And the question is that Nikki asks, is Sandrine, there's all of these like timeline shift happening right now. So I had planned and I had felt in my heart that this timeline of me traveling there, then me doing that with these people, and then establishing myself in that country was really the most aligned timeline, and I was really excited about it. And everything seems to be moving into that direction until things started shifting. And now all of a sudden I find myself in a place where I was not expecting to stay for this long, where things are shifting and changing. And so basically Sandrine, she asked, how do I know when to really push and when to stop and wait, because things are shifting? So this question is extremely important to understand on a quantum level, because what we are really considering here is the intricacies of knowing when to literally push on humans. So say, okay, like you experience this limitation, but keep going, because nothing can stop you from realizing your dreams, from manifesting what it is that you want. And so we want to do the work, not only on ourselves, but also in the outside world. We want to do the work to be able to break free from our conditioning and create the life that we came here to live. So when do we push for that? And when is it actually better, wiser to hold back, to pause, to stop, to reconsider things, and basically to let things land? So here is the first thing that we want to say about this. Nikki, my student who asked this question, already has a very high level of understanding of the quantum, the law of manifestation, of timelines, and so on. So she knows very well that this comes into the field with the field of connection of the divine masculine and the divine feminine embodiment. She knows as well, and this is something that is important to be remembered of, that there is a higher power that actually has our back. And not only this higher power that you might like to call God or source if you prefer, basically not only does God have our back, but also God has created the most direct path to what it is that we are here to experience in life, and the most direct path to help us become who we came here to be. The first step is therefore to drop into faith, to invite faith. And faith in a higher power, faith in God, in Source, in Sophia Christ, faith in your spirit guides, faith in your soul, faith in your soul mission, but as well faith in your human life, in earth intelligence, in humanity. So the level of faith, generally speaking, needs to be really activated through the power of prayers or journaling, self-reflection, speaking to a higher power. So I really highly encourage you to cultivate faith and to connect with this higher power in the way that feels good to you daily, because that will strengthen your connection. And here I'm not necessarily talking about channeling, because even though I'm a huge advocate of sharing that everybody channels and everybody can learn to channel with precision and accuracy and a lot of power, but a lot of us, we don't know how this process is actually unfolding right now. This is why I've got different programs that teach you how to channel consciously with power and precision. Remember, I have Eeria School of Channeling, which is here to up level so you can channel powerfully for groups and other people. But then I also have the Portal, which is a transformative program where I teach you and I train you to channel with precision for your own personal growth as well as your soul mission. And then if you're not ready to join the Portal, you can join the Mini Portal, which is a membership where you get access to me once a month through mentoring group sessions. Okay, so I train people to channel. But the first thing I want to invite you to do is to cultivate faith and realize that as you speak to a higher power, you speak to God, you speak to your soul, you speak to your own divine heart, to your spirit guides. And as you do that, you are going to amplify the pathway of communication with the infinite magic of the universe, of the quantum, if you prefer. Once you do that, continue cultivating that, because therefore you clearly open one of these two legs, I would say, of channeling, which is giving and receiving information. So here you give through your prayer, you give your words, but also you ask. And therefore, if you want to receive more clear guidance from God, your spirit guides, your soul and soul mission, because you're already in conversation with them, even if it feels like a one-way conversation, you're in conversation. So you are going to learn to receive with greater level of precision the messages that are coming back your way. So it is simply a matter of trusting that all your prayers are heard, received, and are answered. Only you are learning to see, to witness the answers happening in your life. So it's simply reprogramming your brain, opening up your consciousness, and so on. Continue following me, because everything that we share is around the theme to help you understand more your multidimensionality and channel with precision. Okay, so first thing to know is to anchor more into faith and connect to the divine daily. Because when that happens, you strengthen trust and faith inside of you, and therefore it is easier to surrender. It is easier to let go of the need to control. Why would we need to control when literally the universe has created the most direct path for us to experience who we came here to be and what we came here to have? And I'm gonna share a story with you very soon that illustrates this. And it's freaking epic because it's happening to me right now. And it's the perfect illustration to the dynamic that we are talking about today. So, first thing, practice faith. Second thing, practice surrendering, letting go of the need to control. For that, please remember to work with your body. Okay, your body needs a lot of love. Your human needs a lot of attention, self-care, loving, connecting moment with your own self. So be there for your own self. Be the angel of your human. Okay, and when you do that, I want you to keep in mind to work with your nervous system. A lot of people, most people on planet Earth right now have dysregulated nervous system. Okay, so we know that we have dysregulated nervous system if we tend to be really hyper all over the place, or on the opposite, if we get to be very when we slow down too much, where we are really gloomy, and on the other hand, like really sluggish, so if we oscillate massively between these two polarities, it shows that we have a dysregulated nervous system. So I won't go into any details right now on this subject, but please find nervous system regulation that work for you and do that. So the first step to embody and to practice, so you can know with greater clarity when to push and when to wait in life. The first step is practice faith. The second step is the embodiment. Okay? Be the embodiment of relaxation, of surrendering. Work with your nervous system. And then, as part of this, there is also knowing your architecture, your human design. If you know your authority, if you have sacral authority, if you have emotional authority, and so on, there is a different way to connect with your body to receive the answer to your question. Okay, so connect with your body. Like, I'm sacral, so I know very well that I need to connect with my sacral, take a few breaths, ask my sacral if my sacral is turned on, and if it is, then I can ask questions with the answer that is a yes or a no, and I receive pretty much instant answers. Okay, but then at times it's a little bit conflicted. We're not quite sure. So here is the bigger picture about this, something that we really want to talk to you about. Generally speaking, we want to be able to push when it comes to our microcosm, our own universe, our internal reality, basically our own self. And we want to wait when it comes to the macrocosm. So here is an example. When we want to be doing something and it is not aligning, and we don't receive what it is that we want, and we feel we do everything we can, everything on the to-do list of manifestation or anchoring timeline and things like that, and it is not working, we need to let that go and do more inner work. This is where we push, but we push not to dysregulate ourselves and traumatize ourselves all over again. We do the inner work to self-soothe, to listen to the parts of ourselves that are in resistance, to listen to the fragmented consciousness present, maybe the inner child, maybe some ancestral pluggings coming from the matrix systems, maybe things from past lives that come from alternate realities or parallel lives, and so on. So we can do journaling, we can work with a therapist, we can work with a mentor, we can have a really open-hearted conversation with a friend. Basically, we dig inside, we do the inner work, right? And this is generally where we want to place our energy, because everything comes from within. As quantum beings, the reality that is present us there is simply an algorithm that comes from what it is that we radiate. And as we radiate a certain frequency, this frequency meets the frequency of all of the other beings that are present on this planet, physical and non-physical. And as we meet these frequencies, we therefore create a holographic matrix system. So this is part of the architecture of life. I'm not going to go too much into details, but basically your reality starts from within. So generally speaking, if you're not quite sure which decision to make, wait. If you don't have a clear answer, if you are a bit unsure, if there is a lot of probabilities out there that would actually make you really happy, just wait. Wait and see. Do the inner work, be patient, surrender, trust. And if you don't feel like there is a lot of inner work to do, it could just be that you are here to have fun. Have fun, live in a present moment, connect with the people you love. Basically, allow time to bring clarity. Okay? So we want to push when it comes to holding ourselves to a certain standard. And again, we push in different ways, right? We might train our physical body by going to the gym, doing more exercises. We might train our mind by doing some, reprogrammation of our subconscious and so on. We might train our emotion by doing a lot of inner child healing, different healing, journaling, and so on, like really being present with our emotion. Or we might train on other levels. But basically, we push to train ourselves to be to be more in alignment with who we are truly, in flow with life, receiving from life. And then we wait, because therefore, as we do this frequency shift within ourselves, what is going to happen is that it is going to attract a timeline that is the most in alignment with our new frequency. And then we maintain this new frequency by living fully in the present moment, connecting to the divine, having faith, surrendering. So here is a story I want to share with you. Only 2 weeks ago, I had no idea about what's going to happen to me and in my life right now. I had no idea. A month ago, I felt that it would be quite nice to go to Australia, see my friends. I have lots of epic friends who live in Melbourne. I love them so much. They're my family, they're my sisters, all the things. I absolutely adore them. But I just could feel that the time was not really anchored either. And it's like, I really would love to, but there are lots of resistances, like all of the things that I'm not going to get into right now, but they were like very objective to me. Like this resistance is like, I've got my kids are going to go to Europe. I don't want to leave in that time because I don't want to leave them alone. I've already been in Bali and then going to Europe. I'm only there for 2 months with them. I don't want to leave my children alone. I want to be a good mother. And then I have all of these resources, but these resources, I really want to allocate them to this project and that project for the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry. So I'm not quite sure that, it is in the highest alignment for me to go to Melbourne. And so I had all of this kind of like resistance. It was not clear. So I let it go. I thought, I have no idea. I don't really feel like I need to decide. I accept that I don't know. How can I be at peace with not knowing? Because when we can be in that space, it's like patience is power, as Kayara would say, as Mother Mary would say, patience is power. Because when we are patient, we know that the universe is literally concocting the freaking best timeline we could ever dream of experiencing, and we're simply not aware of it. And so other timelines are kind of not landing. So instead of grabbing on a timeline and say like, no, I really want this here now, because I think as a human with the level of consciousness that I have, that this must be it, right? And this must be like in terms of travels, or like maybe someone you're dating and you think, oh, this person is going to be my one. Or it could be like around a project that you have for work, for your business, like anything at all, right? This must be it. This is the answer to my prayers. This is too good to be true. It must be it. But actually, it is really not landing. Let it go. Practice detachment, non-attachment. God has another plan. So I'm not going to push, and I'm not going to create any kind of aggression by, I want it so bad. I'm just going to deny the fact that my body is saying, just don't feel it for whatever reason. And I don't feel it doesn't have to be a big deal either. It doesn't have to be because of financial, energetic, or time constraint. You might have the time, the energy, and the money to do it. But it's just like somehow this kind of like a missing piece of the puzzle, which is literally me with Australia. So I let Australia go. I thought, okay. And then the timeline of me going to Bali again in July became very, very strong. It's like, oh yeah, my daughter, I'm in Europe, in Norway. I don't want to stay in Wellington. Wellington is horrible here. In winter, like winter is just like this never ending, long, rainy, windy, cold and damp, months after months after months. So I was like, no. This queen must not be in a place like that when the weather is shit. This queen, Sandrine, is going to take herself to Bali again, because if the kids are here, literally I'm free. So I really cultivated that timeline. This must be absolutely the best timeline of all. And as I was really considering it, like they were passing one day after the other, and I was like, I don't know, like this also something there. I'm not quite sure. And then what happened is that one mentor that I've had my eye on for a while launch this program. And I was like, oh my God, this program, I really want this program. So I signed up for that program with that mentor. I'm so freaking happy. My human, very excited. And then another mentor also launched another program. And I thought, I want that one too. But then my human was like, oh, what to do, where to push, what to choose, because there is that new program that I want to sign up to, but then it could be a lot because I already have other mentors, I already have other programs that I'm a part of. So I feel I'm going to stretch myself thin here, not necessarily financially, but like timely and energetically, because I like to give it, 100%. When I join something, I join, I'm there alive as much as possible. I do the exercises, I do the embodiment practices, I do it all because I sign up for it. Right? And this is also what I want, what I expect for my student. I expect my students to show up and do the work, because this is why we sign up to programs, right? It's to have a transformation. So anyway, so this second program I really wanted to sign up with, and it was like this was coming in tension with Bali, and there was still like Australia lurking. And for like a week, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to choose. I don't want to choose the 3 because it's too much. It feels really like, exhausting, just the thought of doing it all. But I feel that there is something that's there and I don't know. So here is where I'm not to push. When you have many different things kind of like floating quite close to you, all of these things, so the trip in Bali, the trip in Australia, signing up to yet another program, all of it, I could have done it. All of it like epic. And I did not feel either that it was coming from any deep trauma. No, it was more like a really amazing place to be into, to have the opportunity to choose between all of these freaking epic things, right? Where is my growth going to take me? When is the next growth portal? What is the most aligned action to take? And so every now and then I would find myself overthinking it and becoming a bit stressed. Like I need to decide, And then again, patience is power. Take a freaking deep breath, pray, connect to the divine, surrender, relax, and do not make any decisions. And I adopt the mantra, oh, it's so empowering not to know, because I trust God entirely. If there is one being of all beings who knows exactly what's happening and what's going to happen to me and who has my back and who wants the best from me, it is freaking God, right? So now is the time to not push, to surrender, and to wait for God to show me the way. And this is what I did. And here is what happened literally on Saturday. So 2 days ago here in New Zealand. What happened is that in just a few days, I learned that one of my closest friends that I absolutely adore, Marga Valverde, that many people know because we co-create, we absolutely love each other. She's an epic mission soul. Like, I love her so much. I went to see her in Mexico last year, and she told me, babe, I'm coming to Australia. I'm coming. Yes, I still need to book my flights. I still need to get my visa. It's all happening very fast, but bitch, I'm coming. And I was like, great, but I'm not in Australia, but it's like literally the neighbor country. I can totally go. Then of course, my guy is going to go see the same friends because we have the same group of friends. And on top of that, I learned that also my other friend, who's also a multidimensional channel, badass babe that absolutely adore, her name is Rubia. She was the guest speaker in my school of channeling. You might know her, extraordinary human being. So basically, Rubia lives in Australia, but she's going to go back to Brazil. So I was like really sad because I didn't think I would be able to see Rubia before she goes back to Brazil. But now she's also going to Melbourne. And so I was like, I also want to go to Melbourne. So I contacted my friends who live in Melbourne, and it turns out, actually, Gabby is holding an event for the new term of her New Earth Mission Collective. Gabby was my very first galactic spiritual badass business mentor, soul mission business mentor 4 years ago. And since then, she's become my close friend and I absolutely adore her. She's a freaking epic quantum queen. And she's holding this epic term on leadership and ascension codes around, leading huge amount of people. I was like, oh, I want to be a part of it. Next thing you know, Gabby offers me to co-create. So she, we have a special agreement because I'm going to offer her a lot of things as she offers me a lot of things, because this is really high-end program that she offers. So I'm joining, and basically I'm going to Australia. I'm going to attend a live event. And then we're going to have all of this soul family girlfriend time for an entire 8 days. And it's happening. I'm flying next Sunday. That timeline was not present a week ago. Because I did not sign up in a rush to the other program of this mentor I wanted to sign up, these resources can be allocated to actually joining New Earth Mission Collective for a term, because it is similar investment. I'm coming to Australia, but it's literally even better than I could have anticipated, because I already have heaps of friends there. But no, it's going to be like this gigantic family reunion. So what happened? Why am I sharing this story with you? Because this is the exact illustration of how to know when to push and when to wait. So here is what it is that I want you to remember from this transmission today and the story that I have shared. First of all, practice faith. God has your back. God knows. So if you don't know what's going to happen in a month, if you don't know how to make a decision, great. Give it to God. Give it to your spirit guides. They know. Like, how can we possibly know as human beings? We have a very limited consciousness, my friends. And yes, I am here to help people increase their consciousness. And I'm doing that the same. But we also need to be freaking humble and realize that we can only know what we know. And a lot of it is based on our subconscious programming, on resistances, on traumas that come from past lives, and all of these things. So we know very, very little. So hand things to God. Hand things to the divine. Ask the divine to show you the way. And then wait, relax, and see what's coming towards you. If a project that you have had at heart for a long time doesn't work, maybe it was never meant to work. It does not matter if what you work towards actually manifests and lands or not. It doesn't say anything about you. You need to walk the way. You need to learn things. So you are going to be placed in certain situations where you will push, where you will work on yourself, when you will want to create this, and that, and this doesn't happen. It doesn't mean there is something wrong with you. There is no such thing as failure. You have learned, you have grown along the way. So even if you don't know when to push and when to wait, I always say, generally speaking, human beings are way too lazy and complacent and victims. And so generally speaking, they need to push, but only they need to push in the right places. Push more into the inner work, in nervous system regulation, in faith. This is where you need to push yourself. Catch yourself when you speak negatively about yourself, about the world, about God, about your spirit guide, about your value. Push in this direction, because that cannot be wrong, because you do something for yourself, because you support yourself, because you learn to love yourself. And sometimes we do it and it works straight away. We instantly feel better. Sometimes we feel worse because we are not used to hold ourselves this way. We are not used to be the angel of our humans. Keep doing it. Keep trying. Keep being there for yourself. This is where we push. And we surrender when things are happening out there and the path is not clear. So what happened is that, for me, when nothing was very clear in those timelines, I just waited. I could just feel something. So now, not only am I going to Melbourne for a week in this event with my soul sisters and these people coming from all over the world, but also I have signed up with a new mentor that I absolutely love, and I have said no to the other one. And I said no, feeling complete, feeling that it's okay. Let's not be, FOMO here. this program will happen again next year. If it's aligned, I will join that program. So no, I'm not too stretched in terms of my capacity around that. And on the other hand, I sign up for Gabby's New Earth Mission Collective, which is completely different codes, which is codes that I actually really want and I really need. And I did not know that until it was offered to me. And then if I am meant to go to Bali, I will go to Bali. I still don't know. My human would love to know. Yes, because as humans, we need reassurance because we get stressed, we get worried, and so on. Our role is not to try to control an outcome to regulate our nervous system, but to control our nervous system so the best outcome can align with us. Once you are regulated in your nervous system, once you do your embodiment practices, once you pray, once you do the inner work, once you learn to live in the present moment, then the most aligned timeline will land. It's just law. It's the law of attraction, law of quantum resonance, if you prefer. So yes, that will happen. If you continuously try to force decision and to be like a dog with a bone, like chewing on something, when actually you're living from a dysregulated nervous system, when you are not aware that you're projecting a lot of negativity, when you are be present as a victim as well as someone who is quite aggressive because I want this, I want this, I want this now because it's going to mean this about me, then what happens is that you keep pushing the most ascended timelines away. You keep pushing it. And so therefore, what happens, it creates more of the same repetition, same convoluted thoughts, same dysregulated nervous system, same digestive problems, adrenal problems, same procrastination, same doubts. So do things differently, okay? So to finish this transmission, I would love you to remember, practice faith, pray daily, practice surrendering through nervous system regulation, be very present in the present moment, be the angel of your human, do the inner work, okay, always. And then put your feet up, enjoy your life, be there for yourself, and then witness what is coming. And the timelines that are meant for you are juicy, extremely empowering. It does not mean that it is all easy. You might need to break through your fears. You might need to find greater level of courage. Actually, that's often the case because higher timelines of higher frequency ask us to step up our game, always. But if you have a nervous system that's regulated, if you know yourself, if you always have your own back, then it's like, yeah, of course, I'm going to give it a try. Of course, I can peer through these resistances. I have done this before, and I'm going to do it again because I'm a freaking multidimensional, infinite divine being of the light. I came here for a purpose, and it is happening right now. So watch me rise, world. Yes. Okay. Yes, Jane, I'm so excited to come to Melbourne. I know you there as well. We might be able to catch up. I'm not sure yet. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember that this Golden Age Spiritual Ministry is here to answer your questions. So if you have very pressing questions, I would love to invite you to email me your question at info@sandrines.com so I can answer your question here live. Remember that together we rise. I am here for you, and I would love to see you inside one of my programs, and especially the portal, because the portal is here to help you amplify your channeling abilities, elevate your life, elevate your soul mission business. And the portal is here for 6 months or 12 months. So basically, you can sign up for one of these two, 6 months or 12 months with me in my High Council. And it is evergreen, so you can join at any time, which is absolutely wonderful. See you next time and enjoy the rest of your day.